Hey everybody, welcome into the channel. This is Bulldog coming at you. This is Metalhead Warrior NY. Do me a favor, if you like this content, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Alright, I'm just putting out there. I've been going through a lot of albums, different things, 2024. I just figure I put out there what's been spinning on my CD player for the past, probably 2-3 months now. 2024 for metal has been insane. Just like past couple years, um, albums came out just mind blowing of all the metal that came out this year. But black metal, the death metal, the crossover, progressive, the real dark and stuff. But I was in. I'm just gonna put out there what I've been listening to, and if you guys want to comment, feel free. Comment section down below. I'm gonna start off with a board. My boys from Belgium never disappoint me. I've been into these guys since they first came out, God, years back. New album, um, Vault of Horrors. It's just classic aborted album. You get your death metal in there, a little bit more grindy. Breakdowns as usual. Um, they they have never disappointed me with albums. Absolutely amazing. Again, it's definitely one of my favorites of 2024. Um, I would definitely recommend it if you haven't already. Pick this album up. It's a must. I mean, you can't go wrong with a board. Can't go wrong with a board. Some of the songs that stick out for me: Death Cult, Hellbound, um, and Condemned to Rot. It's just classic sounding, board. Because they're they mixed it more a little grindy into it, which I love. And a little bit of the breakdowns. I absolutely love these guys. Again, aboard it. Vault of Horrors, 2024, out on Nuclear Blast Records. One of my favorite albums. Also, a band that surprised me when when they when they first announced that they were getting together. Um, I'll be the first to admit, I was thinking about, okay, it's gonna be like the bands that they're in. In my opinion, it's not. Category 7. Um, the, I call it the heavy metal supergroup. You have John Bush, Armored Saint, Anthrax, Jason Bittner, uh, drummer for Shadows Fall and Overkill. Although he has left Overkill to go back to Shadows Fall because Shadows Fall is working on a new album. I believe it's going to be due. I believe it's going to come out next year, hopefully. I'm dying to hear more from Shadows Fall. I haven't heard much from them in the past few years, so I'm dying to hear what they sound like now with him coming back into the fold. Overkill did replace the drummer in the band. I don't remember the guy's name. Bobby Blitz put it up on his site the other day, I believe, on Instagram. So I think Dee Dee also did. Um, Category 7, I love these guys. Like I said, I was skeptical about them, to say the least. It has Phil Demo also from Machine Head and now Kerry King. But there is issues going on in the Kerry King camp. It's interesting to see if they're going to go, if Kerry King's band is going to go further with, with everything going on. Because you got the lead singer from Death Angel as a frontman for Kerry's band, and there's been a lot of bickering in that band right now, a lot of infighting between them and everything like that. Getting back to Category 7, I love these guys. They're a nice mix of like heavy metal, progressive, and some like power, but it keeps with that traditional, old school thrash feel. John Bush's vocals on this are amazing. Absolutely amazing. John Bush has been one of my favorite lead singers forever, and I'm glad I'm glad he's going back to Armored Saint full time. Um, yes, Armored Saint did come out with an album recently, but there's been talk about them going into the studio to record another one. So I'm hoping that comes about. But definitely Category 7. Get this album. It's one of my surprise albums for me in 2024, and I really hope they go further with them. You know, just see, you know, what they can do on the next album, because I love these guys. I really really do. Next one, my girls from Brazil, Krypta. Two of these members, remember, are formerly from Nervosa. Hard hitting, all female group. I love them. Lead singer is Fernanda, has an amazing voice. You know, the deep growls that she does, just the breakdowns and the heaviness of this album and these ladies is just mind blowing. Very very good. I missed them on tour this time coming around. There's reports that they're working on another either an album or like a mix, live CD DVD. I don't know how true it is. Again, I can't say more about them. I just love these ladies. I really really do. Shades of Sorrow is the name of the album. Definitely pick this album up. You know, it's death metal at its finest, and Brazil is always, you know, sent, you know, that hard hitting death metal type, whether it be melodic or something like Sepultura. But these ladies are on top of their game, and I've always said the ladies in metal are going to start knocking on the door more, and they have been, especially over the past 10 years. You know, definitely one of those albums in 2024. Next one is in Bane. I had to go back on these guys. I didn't realize who they were. They're from they're from Norway, which is one of my favorite areas in the world for metal. You know, no secret. I love my Swedish metal, but I love the black metal coming out in the death metal that has come out of Norway, you know, forever. These guys are really really good. They have it's almost like a progressive type black metal, like a darkened death metal. The vocals on this I absolutely love. He has that classic black metal vocal, and then for him to switch it up to the clean vocal and then back to like the black metal, death metal, and the mid tempos and the breakdowns on this album are really good, really really good. Like I had to go back with these guys to their first album. Name of the album is Solomon. Band is In Vain. Definitely one of my pickups that I love that I got in 2024. Definitely, I would definitely recommend them. Anything from Norway, you know that I'm down for it. I love Norwegian black metal. You know, I know for me, a lot of the black metal today, it sounds too much the same in my opinion. So when I hear, you know, black metal bands coming out, I gotta listen to it for a little bit before I even jump on getting them. But yeah, it's definitely one of the albums for 2024 that I would definitely recommend getting. Definitely. And another one, a band that I've been into since I first heard them, probably in '91 when I first heard them. Ill Disposed. These guys from Denmark, I've always been into these guys. I love these guys. They have that hard death metal feel with the grind even now. In Chambers of Sonic Disgust is the name of the album. A lot of people I've talked to and read, they're they're not too thrilled about the album. It sounds like typical Illuspos, which their past 2-3 albums, have been not what I think what it could have been, because like they're saying when I first got them, the album that I first got to them was Submit, and that album blew me away, and I had to go back. But yeah, this came out on Massacre Records. They're still putting out good material. I mean, I've been these guys, like I said, since 1991. They've been one of my favorite death metal bands. It's, to me, they've expanded a little bit more, if that makes any sense. Yeah, they still have that hard death metal, the hard breakdowns, that nasty guitar sound that they have, almost like an over distorted, type. Yeah, if you haven't, check these guys out. I mean, like I said, people I've talked to, people have left out forums, even on here and on Instagram, have said, they're still in there. It sounds like, past few albums. Each his own, as I always say. But yeah, I've been spinning this, since it came out, and it's been one of those albums that I've gone back to again just to listen to. So definitely. Also, my boys from Nile, new album, love it. These guys never ever disappoint me. I've been these guys since day one. The Underworld awaits us all. It's out on Napalm Records. Again, it's typical Nile. Anybody that's been into Nile since the beginning knows what I'm talking about. That hard death metal, deep vocals that I love. Almost like a grindy more. Great breakdowns, guitars are there. What else can I say? It's just classic Nile in my life. I mean, in my opinion, they're not slowing down, especially going forward. They're still an incredible force live. I think I've seen them like 2-3 times, I believe now. I definitely want to catch them when they come back around this area. But yeah, again, it's one of my albums from 2024 that I just been that's been in my CD player constantly, nonstop. Next one is a band from right here in the tri-state area. They're from Jersey. Cognitive. Abnehirance is the album out on Metal Blade Records. Very like a technical death metal. Some melodic in this. Great vocals. I was turned on by another collector friend of mine on Instagram, and I know that I've been spinning. When I first heard him, I was like, "Ooh," and I just love the sound of him, Savor the Suffering, Contaminate Breach, Cold Dead Hands are just some of them, that are just out there for me. Definitely pick it up. Cognitive, Abnehirance off on Metal Blade. Definitely pick this album up. Next one, a band called Gray Skies Fallen from New York in Manhattan. I love these guys. This has been constantly spinning. Melodic death metal, mixed with like some doom, progressive almost, and you can throw in some goth in there too. If I would compare these guys to somebody, I would say maybe My Dying Bride type. The vocals, the guitar work is just it's great. I love this album top to bottom. Again, there's not a bad track on this album. Not I mean absolutely no bad tracks. Um, this is this this will probably be in my top 5 at the end of the year when I do my top 24 or my top albums of 24. Definitely, Gray Skies Fallen, Molded by Broken Hands on Profound Lore Records. Pick these guys up, especially I'm partial to them because being from New York and Jersey, the tri-state area, there's still a lot of great bands here, but there's still a lot of great bands that nobody really recognizes coming out of New York, Jersey, Connecticut even. But definitely, Gray Skies Fallen. Pick these guys up. Absolutely amazing album. Next one, Suicide Angels. Love these guys. Technical thrash, melodic. Love the vocals. The guitar work is on point. The drums are amazing. Just everything just blends in perfectly. I've been a fan for these guys for probably about 8 years now. I had to go back, like in the past 2 albums. I had to go back from those, like when I first heard them. Album is Profound Prayer. It's out on Nuclear Blast Records. Again, Nuclear Blast has been hitting it out of the park this year. Them and $20 Spin, Profound Lore Records. Many of these, 2024 has been great. I mean, I thought 2023 packed a punch. 2024 really put out some quality, amazing albums. Like I said again, Profane Prayer is the album name. Suicidal Angels on Nuclear Blast. Pick these guys up. Melodic thrash in a way, progressive. They're um, they're from Athens, Greece, I believe it is. Very good album. Very good. Definitely pick these guys up. Next one, Wraith from Indiana. I fell in love with these guys. Album is called Fueled by Fear. It's Prosthetic Records. Very thrash metal oriented. Almost like a crossover feel. Top to bottom, no bad tracks. No filler tracks on this album. They've been doing it for a few years now. I think they have 4 albums out, I believe it is. 5 albums, something like that. I think so. I gotta check over there. But yeah, definitely. If you like that crossover sound, which I absolutely love, definitely pick these guys up. I first heard this album, I listened to it a few times, and his vocals, I was trying to pinpoint, what band his vocals sounded like, and a few of the older bands came to mind. Exhorder popped into my mind. Early, I would even compare them to early Pantera, believe it or not, but a lot more thrashy, whereas Pantera had that groove metal going. But definitely pick these guys up. Wraith, Fueled by Fear. It's on Prosthetic Records. Again, they're out of Indiana, I believe. Really good release for 2024. Excellent release. And then Dark Tranquility. Love these guys. Been these guys forever. Another of my Sweden bands. End Time Signals is the name of the album. Off Century Media, which they've been on there for a while. Again, with them, in my opinion, they have never put out a bad album. You know, to blend that, like the melodic technical death metal, you know, his vocals are on point. I love, you know, everything about it. The breakdowns, the like the mid-range parts of it. His vocals are phenomenal as usual. You know, love it to death. Like I said, Dark Tranquility. End time, end time single. Sorry about that. My mind has been blank for a minute. Central Media, definitely pick these guys up. Amorphous just did Tales from a Thousand Lakes live right here. They issued it live album with a Blu-ray. I listened to the album. It brought me back to when it first came out, and the live concert on Blu-ray, amazing. Hell, absolutely amazing. And again, classic album, which, you know, there's been a lot of bands recently doing, you know, a lot of their big albums, top to, you know, straight through, and they're, you know, recording it. I was ecstatic when they said that they were putting this out. I definitely went out and grabbed it real quick. They're on Raining Phoenix music label now. But yeah, for anybody that's been into these guys, definitely pick this up. It's a great live album. It really is. You know, it's amorphous. You know, can't go wrong with it, top to bottom. Next one, these guys, 200 Stab Wounds. Yes, I had to write things down so I didn't forget things. They're out of Cleveland. These guys are the future of grindcore. Haven't disappointed one bit. Like I said, death metal with the grind. The vocals are. I love the. I've always been a fan of that deep, guttural vocal. It's on Metal Blade. Manual Maniac Procedures. All I gotta say is Broken Hope, Hemorrhage, early Cannibal Corpse, Pharmacist, many others. My mind is just all over the place right now. But definitely pick these guys up. 200 Stab Wounds. They're on Metal Blade. Manual Maniac Procedures. If you're into that hard, that severe underground death metal feel, the grindcore, definitely pick this album up. You know, because last year was, you had a lot of bands from last year put out quality, amazing albums. This year I think death metal, black metal really took the reins for it. And there are some albums that I haven't gotten yet, that I will be getting, and there's still some albums that are coming out towards the end of this year, you know, that I'm definitely looking forward to. Definitely 200 Stab Wounds. Pick these guys up. Another one, Necrophobic. Again, Sweden. I've been a fan of these guys forever. They have not let me down. Another amazing album by these guys. Black and death metal, dark death metal, like black metal. Yeah. In the Twilight Grays, the album, they're on Century Media. If you liked their last album, you guys will love this album. You know, the vocals, the guitar, everything about these guys is just on point. I wouldn't mind seeing them come around New York, maybe, once or twice more. Um, it's definitely gonna be in the running for top album of the year, I believe, hands down, hands down. Not a bad track, not a bad track at all. You know, these guys, I think these guys have come a long way from when they first started. I know a lot of people say, oh, they're their first few, were a lot heavier, deeper, and darker. You know, it still is, in my opinion. I got everything over there. I was listening to I forgot how it was. I forgot how it was. 'Cause I was doing something. I was listening to it, and I started listening side by side. I was like, they still have that sound that reaches out and grabs you. That borderline of the dark and black metal. The black and thrash, black and death metal, definitely. The necrophobic in the Twilight Ray. Pick these guys up. Next one, Antichrist Siege Machine. They're from Virginia. They just come out a new one. They're on Profound Lore Records. Vengeance of Eternal Fire. Pagan Medal, black and death metal, war metal, whatever you want to call it. They hit on everything. They don't sway away, from things. Deal with the church, black metal as usual. I like this album. It's a damn good release. The one before this, I like a little bit more. I think their last release, in my opinion, was a lot more darker in a way. The vocals are great in my on both albums, but definitely, if you haven't already, pick these guys up, give them a shot. All right, Antichrist Siege Machine, Profound Lore Records, definitely. Next one, Antichrist Demoncore, ACDC, whatever. Well, album called Goat. They're a combination like grindcore, crust, punk, death metal, and even some hardcore thrown in there. I didn't know who these guys were. And somebody I follow mentioned them, or I saw a video for them on YouTube, and I was like, let me give them a shot. And I was blown away. I was just blown away. It's just a brutal album, an ugly album, just a down and dirty album. And I mean, if you guys have his album, if you don't have it yet, pick it up. They're on Prosthetic Records. The album called is Goat. Antichrist Demoncore. It's an ugly album. It's a hard album. Very, very heavy. Like I said, they bring in almost every element you could think of, which I like. You got the grindcore, you got the crust sound, you got that very, very darkened death metal, even blackened in a way, and then you got just that pagan sound to it, which I absolutely love. So, Antichrist Demoncore is Goat on Prosthetic Records. Next one, this band has been around since mid '80s. When I saw they were coming out with a new album, I was like, huh? Band called Riot. These guys are still out putting out amazing albums. Mean Streets, it's on Atomic Fire Records. Great, great um, heavy metal album, progressive power metal in a way. Has an old school thrash feel that they were famous for. I love the album, top to bottom. The vocals are amazing. The vocals and guitar work are absolutely amazing on this album. I would definitely put this in line, of top albums of this year without a doubt. Without even, without even questioning it. Great. It's. I would say I'm glad to see guys like this are still going. And putting out quality material like this album is, because back in the '80s, they had that. A lot of people didn't take them seriously, in my opinion, back in the '80s. But for them to still be going, and putting out, like I said, a very, very good, like a old school thrash, progressive album. I would love to go see these guys in a concert. I would love to go see it. Definitely. If you haven't already, pick this album up. Riot, Mean Streets. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Just pick this album up. Next one is Atrophy. They've been around for years. I think it was like the first album in 30 years, I believe, or something like that. They're on Massacre Records. The album's called Asylum. Old school thrash, in my opinion, with a hint of like a thrashy death type feel. Love the vocals. The guitars are on point. Very good album. When they announced the album coming out, I heard a couple of tracks off it. I liked them, and it kept getting pushed back, and then finally came out. If you have their older stuff, you'll definitely like this. I've been spinning this on and off since it came out. For me, I would definitely put this in the category of comeback album awards of the year, in my opinion, hands down. Atrophy on Massacre Records, Asylum. Pick it up. Exon album is called Legend. They're out of France. Real progressive thrash metal. They hit on different topics. You have that melodic feel to them also. Great vocals. I'm always one that focuses on the vocals a lot. The guitars are up there. Again, another band that I was introduced to by either on here or on Instagram. Some of the tracks that I personally like: Legend, Altar of War, Warlock, The Oath. That's just a few of the tracks. My opinion, great album top to bottom. It has that, like the progressive technical type death metal, which I absolutely love. The guitars, breakdowns are on point. Definitely, they're on Season of Mist. So, like that, Season of Mist has been putting out phenomenal releases for many years now, especially I would say the past 4 or 5 years. They've put out Season of Mist. Have put out some very good releases. So definitely, Exon album is called Legend. Pick it up. Next band, not too many people heard of this band when they first came out. Their first album, I was blown away by them. That's why when they came out with this new one, um, I rushed to get it. Embryonic Autopsy. Origins. Origins of the Deformed. I love this band. Second album. It's out on Massacre Records. When I first heard their first one, I was like, caught off guard. I'm like, ooh, who are these guys, And I was blown away by it. That's why when I heard this one dropped, and I went on, I think I saw it on here. Excuse me, something in my eye. I saw it on YouTube, and I was like, I'm getting it. Just they're out of Chicago. That hard hitting death metal sound. The vocals, the deep growling type folks. I mean, it's not for everybody, but I like the old style death metal. And I would put them right up there with Cannibal Corpse, early Haunted, for that matter, Master, Obituary, but definitely even Cold Worker, very similar in a way, but definitely check these guys out. Embryonic Autopsy, Origins of the Deformed on Massacre Records. It'll probably be definitely in one of my top albums of 24 at the end of the year, more than likely. Another band that I fell in love with when it came out, Decipher, Arcane Path to Resurrection, blackened death metal, darkened, like a dark death metal, black metal almost. They're out of Greece. It's on Transcending Obscurity Records. Sorry about that. I love these guys. Ugly album, brutal album. It's nonstop, top to bottom. There's no rest on this album. It's heavy. It's ugly. It's just punishing. Pick this album up. I've been spinning this constantly, and yeah, definitely pick the guys up. Next one is Benighted, Ekbom, guys from France. Death metal grind, hard album. They're on Season of Mist. Just top to bottom. So, some of the tracks that I think stick out: Scars, Nothing Left to Fear, Reason for Treason, Scapegoat, Flesh Against Flesh. It's nonstop. Like they're that hard, that deep death metal, with like, I don't want to say too much grind, but it's there. The element is there. Very, very good album. Very good album. Heavy, hard, definitely. Check these guys out. Next one is another band that's been around for, since the 90s. Mortar Skull, Creation Undone. Guys from Wisconsin, Green Bay area. Pure death metal. Another one that I was waiting for to come out. It's on Peaceville Records. Hard. Love the guitar work. Love the vocals. The breakdowns of it. The ins and outs. I think my personal 3 favorite tracks on this album: Painful Conflict, Perfect Prey, actually I'm sorry, 4, Soul Piercing Sorrow, and Oblivion. Those 4 blew me away. Like I said, Mortar Scold. They're on Peaceville. Creation Undone. Definitely, definitely, definitely a top 10, top 15 um, album of the year. Definitely. All right. Next one, Malignancy. I've been into these guys for a while. It's called Discontinued. They're from Yonkers, right here in New York. Yonkers, my boys. Um, technical, technical death metal mixed with like some metalcore thrown in. Um, even some grind mixed in there. Um, they're on Willow Tip Records. Uh, hard hitting. Again, um, not too many bad tracks on this album at all. I mean, my favorite is uh, Haunted Symmetry, and Decomposing Divinity. Uh, they, they 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 have that strong death metal feel, a little bit of technical mixed in there, and even some like metalcore, you know, just thrown in. Deep vocals, guitars are hard. Yeah. Discontinued band Malignancy on Willow Tip Records. Pick them up. Anyway, I'm gonna end this one with a band that I fell in love when I first heard them on their first album, Gatecreeper, Dark Superstitions. They're out of Arizona. They have their death metal mixed with some hardcore, a little bit melodic, technical, you know, just thrown in. Very, very good album. Very, very good album. They're on uh, Nuclear Blast Records. There's no one that I have constantly. I don't think I even put this in my wall unit yet. I've been listening to it that much, but definitely, Dark Superstition, Gatecreeper, Nuclear Blast Records. Another band, in my opinion, is out there waving that flag, you know, especially for death metal. Um, Especially their, you know, with their third album. Um, Definitely pick these guys up. Amazing, amazing album. Great band. Great album, great band. Period. Well, that's about it for this. I want to thank everybody for joining me, watching this. Feel free to leave comments, please. I appreciate the feedback. Let me know some of your favorite albums, bands of 2024, or, you know, also albums that are coming out from bands. Like there's a bunch. I know Anthrax. They did an interview on. I forgot what. Might have been Blabbermouth. Might have been Blabbermouth. Where they talked to Joey Belladonna, Scott Ian, and a couple other guys, and they said that the upcoming Anthrax album, it's written already. They just got to put some, you know, just finish it off and everything. They're saying priced mid 2025, but for what Scott Ian said, and Benante, and also Belladonna said, this is going to be one of the heavier Anthrax albums that they've ever done. They say it's a lot more complex to play because it's so heavy. So, and Anthrax has been one of my favorites since I was little. You know, everybody says about them being the Big Four. Even before they were coined that, I was a huge fan of them. Always have been. You know, I mean, I'll even go as far as saying and putting Anthrax in my top 10 thrash metal bands of all time. You know, I know people were divided when Belladonna left and John Bush came in, you know, for those 4 or 5 albums that he did with them. I like John Bush. as a lead singer. I really, really do. And I liked Joey Belladonna. Um, my opinion, Anthrax is and always will be with Belladonna, hands down. But on the flip side of that, I like what John Bush brought to Anthrax. Um, that grittier sound, that that deeper Vox when his whereas Belladonna. Don't get me wrong, Belladonna. I love Belladonna. Like I said, in my opinion, he is Anthrax. Um, Belladonna has that more progressive type um, vocal, more like definitely like a power metal type. But like I said, my opinion, he is Anthrax through and through. Always will be. And I was just one of those people that I was on the fence and divided when Belladonna left. Bush came in. So I'm very interested in seeing or hearing more of Anthrax when they start putting tracks out, which will be hopefully soon. But yeah, like I said, thank you guys for tuning in. Smash that like button, please. Feel free to leave comments. You can also find me on Instagram, same name. Middlehead Warrior NY. I'm on there. But yeah, if you enjoy this, please smash that like button. I'm always open to comments, feedback. So leave a comment. This is the Bulldog from Middlehead Warrior. Thanking you for tuning in. Stay hard, stay metal, keep raising that flag. Like I always say to people, if you're gonna do something, make it count. Thanks for watching. Bulldog says, later, I'm out.